Hi, I'm Lily. Today I'm going to read you the story Roald달 Matilda chapter 11 Bruce, Bogtrotter and the Cake Part 1. Let's read it. Bruce, Bogtrotter and the Cake. How can she get away with it? Lavender said to Matilda. Surely the children go home and tell their mothers and fathers. I know my father would raise a terrific stink if I told him the headmistress had grabbed me by the hair and slung me over playground fence. No, he wouldn't, Matilda said, and I will tell you why. He simply wouldn't believe you. Of course he would. He wouldn't, Matilda said, and the reason is obvious. Your story would sound too ridiculous to be believed, and that is a Trunchbull's great secret. What is? Lavender asked. Matilda said, never do anything by halves if you want to get away with it. Be outrageous. Go the whole hog. Make sure everything you do is so completely crazy. It's unbelievable. No parent is going to believe the pigtail story. Not in a million years. Mine wouldn't. They'd call me a liar. In that case, Matilda, Lavender said, Amanda's mother isn't going to cut your pigtails off. Yes, and the headmistress is a very scary person, you know. Do you think she's mad? Lavender asked. Who? The Trunchbull. No, I don't think she's mad, Matilda said, but she's very dangerous. Being in this school is like being in a cage with a cobra. You have to be fast on your feet. They got another example of how dangerous the headmistress could be. On the next day, during lunch, an assignment was made that the whole school should go in the assembly hall and be seated as soon as the meal was over. When all the 250 or so boys and girls were settled in assembly, the Trunchbull marched on the platform. None of the other teachers came in with her. She was carrying a reading crop in her right hand. She stood up there on central stage in her green breeches with legs apart and a riding crop in hand, glaring at the sea of upturned faces before. So, and do you know Miss Trunchbull, the headmistress of the school, is very strong, and this day, very big thing happened. I'm going to read you. What's going to happen? Lavender whispered. I don't know, Matilda whispered back. The whole school waited for what was coming next. Bruce Bogtrotter, the Trunchbull barked suddenly. Where is Bruce Bogtrotter? A hand shot up among the seated children. Come up here, the Trunchbull shouted, and look smart about it. An 11-year-old boy who was decidedly large and round stood up readily briskly forward. He climbed up in the platform. Stand over there, the Trunchbull ordered, pointing. The boy stood to one side. He looked nervous. He knew very well he wasn't up to be presented with a prize. He was watching the headmistress with an excitedly wary eye, and he kept edging farther and farther away from her with little shuffles on his feet, rather as a rat might edge away from material that is watching it from across the room. His plump, flabby face and turned gray with fearful apprehension. Do you know? This thing is very dangerous. This is cloth. His stockings hung out his ankles. This is cloth, boomed the headmistress. This is pointing at the rider crop at him like a rapier. This black cat, the four carpenter, this poisonous puster that you see before is none other than a disgusting criminal and dozen of the underworld, a member of mafia. Who? Me? Bruce Bogtrotter said, looking gently puzzled. A thief! Trunchbull screamed. A cook! A crook! A pirate! A braggart! A rooster! Steady on, and the boy said. I mean, dash it, our headmistress. Do you then eat me, miserable little gumble? Do you plead not guilty? I don't know what you're talking about, the boy said, more puzzled than ever. I will tell you what I'm talking about. You supporting little blister, the Trunchbull shouted. Yesterday morning, during break, you sneaked like a serpent in the kitchen and stole a slice of my private chocolate cake from my tea tray. That tray has just been prepared for me personally by the cook. It was my morning snack, and as for the cake, it was my own private stock. That was not boy's cake. You don't think for 1 minute I'm going to eat the food I give you? That cake was made from the real butter and real cream, and he, the rubber bit, the safe cracker, the hyena, standing over there with his socks around his ankles, and stole it and ate it. I never did, the boy exclaimed, turning from gray to white. Don't lie to me, Bogtrotter, broke the Trunchbull. The cook saw you. What's more, she saw you eating it. The Trunchbull paused to wipe a fleck of froth from her lips. When she spoke again, her voice was suddenly softer, quieter, more friendly, and he leaned towards the boy, smiling. You like my special chocolate cake, don't you, Bogtrotter? It's rich and delicious, isn't it, Bogtrotter? Yes, it was. Very good, the boy murmured. The words were out before he could stop himself. You're right, the Trunchbull said. It is very good. Therefore, I think you should congratulate the cook. When a gentleman has a particularly good meal, Bogtrotter, he always sends his compliments to the thief, the chef. You didn't know it, did you, Bogtrotter? But those who inhabit the criminal, Bogtrotter, those who emit the criminal underworld are not for their good manners. The boy remained silent. Cook! The Trunchbull shouted, turning her head towards the door. Come here, cook. Bogtrotter wishes to tell you how good your chocolate cake is. The cook, a tall, shriveled female who looked as though her body justice and had been dried out of a long ago in a hot oven, walked onto the platform wearing a dirty white apron. Her entrance had clearly been arranged beforehand by the headmistress. Now then, Bogtrotter, to tell you, the Trunchbull boomed. Tell cook, what do you think of her chocolate cake? Very good, the boy murmured. You could see he was now beginning to wonder why all this was leading up to. The only thing he knew for certain, that the low forehead the Trunchbull hit him with the riding crop, that she kept smacking against her thigh, there was some comfort, but not much, because the Trunchbull was totally unpredict. One never knew what she going to do next. There you are, cook, the Trunchbull cried. Bogtrotter likes your cake. He adores your cake. Do you have any more of your cake you could give him? I do indeed, the cook said. She seemed to have learned her lines by heart. Then go and get it, and bring a knife to cut it with. The cook disappeared. Almost at once she was back again, dangling with the white of enormous round cake on a china platter. The cake was fully 18 inches, and it was covered with dark brown chocolate icing. Put it on the table, the principal said. There was a small table central stage with a chair behind it. The cook placed the cake carefully on the table. Sit down, Bogtrotter. Sit down, Bogtrotter, the principal said. Sit down. The boy moved casually to the table and sat down. He stared at the giant cake. There you are, Bogtrotter, the principal said, and once again her voice became soft, personal, and even gentle. It's all for you. It's all for you, every bit of it. Every bit of it. As you enjoyed the slice you had yesterday so much, I ordered cook to bake you an extra large one for yourself. Well, thank you. Oh, Bogtrotter likes cakes, and he can't resist it. Oh, maybe no. Well, thank you, the boy said, turning bemused. Thank cook, not me, the principal said. Thank you, cook, the boy said. The cook stood there like a shriveled bootlace, tight-lipped, implacable, disapproving. She was as though her mouth was full of lemon juice. Come on, then, the principal said. Why don't you cut yourself a nice thick slice and try it? What? No, the boy said casually. He knew there was a catch in this something, but he wasn't sure where. Do you want next to happen? Then please watch the next page. And I'm going to read you this page tomorrow. Bye! Tomorrow I'm going to read you Roar Matilda chapter 11, Bogtrotter part 2. Bye!